first cab off the rank here is a brand new product that we're going to introduce to you today. It's a product that people have been wanting. We've been talking about it, and we've been
Pause real quick.
Working hard behind the scenes.
Hey, Levi. It doesn't look like we're showing up live on YouTube. Or are we? We're in?
Yeah,
all right, cool.
I think we're good.
All right. Tech support, we're just jumping in. It's all live, so we're just making sure we're legit. All right.
About 2 minutes.
So we've got a brand new product that we're going to release today, and we're going to show it to you right now.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Keith Stribling, and I'm one of the engineers that helped develop Pay. The team and I are so excited for you to get your hands on this product because we know that you are going to love it. Pay is a POS system that you now have full access to as a Tithely user. All you have to do is download it from the App Store, log in with your Tithely credentials, and you can start running transactions right then and there. You can use it in your cafes, your bookstores, and everything in between. So let's go ahead and take a look. Right from the beginning, you can see how fun this app is going to be. With this beautiful coloring and animations, Pay is a vibrant asset to your day-to-day operations. Now that we've landed here at the kiosk, you can see a button is glowing to let you know you're in the kiosk. You can see activity right here. That'll send you to your recent activity. You'll see a menu button right here that'll slide out a menu. You can slide that back out of the way. And you'll also see this beautiful, beautiful keypad where we'll enter an amount for the customer that's standing in front of us that is wanting a coffee. You hit purchase now, and the app will let you know when it's ready. All your user has to do is swipe their card or insert or tap or Apple Pay or whatever, and then a charge will happen, and they'll be taken through the process and land at a results screen. Once you've been approved, they hit the done button and it'll be sent back to the kiosk. Or you can hit the email receipt button and email yourself a receipt. So let's go ahead and do that now. Now a receipt looks the same way all the time with details about the amount and what you purchased and when and where. But what nobody else's receipt has is a place to add a donation. We did this because we want the customer to continue to be encouraged to give. And that's what these buttons allow them to do. They make a purchase at a coffee shop in your cafe or at a bookstore, and they see a place where they can also donate to the church or give. These buttons are pre-filled with amounts, and if your customer wants to just donate, there is no pre-filled amount. They can donate any amount. This is sent to the also familiar giving form. It's already pre-filled with our $5, and all they have to do is fill out their details and tap the give button like they would if they were giving. Let's go back to our app. Here we are. We now want to go see our recent activity. So we can go shortcut here to the activity button. You'll see amounts of purchases made here, and it can be a long list. And because of that, we give you filtering, where you can search by name, the last four of the card, or by date. When you search by date, you can have options for a date range or single date. Let's swipe that tray away because we don't need it right now. Now on smaller devices, some of these details may not be there. So what we did was give you activity details, where you can see everything in an overview. This list will be here for you to use and see. The refund button here will allow you to refund right in the app. All I have to do is tap the refund button and it's refunded right then and there. This is how. Now that charge has been refunded. And you can see that right here, it's been refunded. If I need to email myself a receipt again, I can do so right here. You can see these buttons on the side are also refund buttons. This is disabled because I have already refunded this transaction. So Pay. It's a POS system that you are going to fall in love with. With it being integrated in your Tithely account, you no longer have to have a giving platform account. All you have to do is download it in the App Store. Sign in with your Tithely credentials. Run some transactions. Your customers will get to donate right there in the receipt. We're so happy you get to experience this with us and walk this with us. We appreciate you. And that's it from Pay. Thank you.
Tithely Pay.
It's here.
It's real. Here's the chipper. I have it.
And it's in the App Store.
So you can go to the App Store today and download the free app.
Yep.
Just search Tithely Pay.
Make sure to search Tithely Pay. Don't just put in Tithely because
Right.
it's a brand new app.
And
right?
you'll see
So
we put Pay on the logo of the
Yeah.
app. It's pretty
probably can't see
easy
it
to
well,
spot.
but it's black.
So for those US customers today, you can download the app and order, we call this chipper, or in Australian you would say chipper.
Chipper.
You can order that today in app. When I ordered mine about a month ago,
Yep.
it literally came in 24 hours.
Yeah.
So it's
in a
very
day.
fast. So
Yeah. you're
going to have it. And so
We've been testing it for, over a month, but you and I have had chippers for a month and
Yep.
got to do the swipe, the tap,
Right.
It works with Apple Pay.
yes.
So it's a great product. And actually the gentleman you saw presenting,
Keithan?
is he was one of the lead engineers on that product. So you just got to see one of our engineers built the
Can
whole
I tell
thing.
a story about Keithan?
Sure.
Keithan was a young junior developer a few years ago.
Yeah.
He's out of Nashville. We have a nice crew in Nashville. And Keithan was just like a young guy that wanted to code and wanted to develop.
Right.
He came on board as a junior
Right.
and has come up the ranks as was one of the key guys in this product
Yeah.
that we just launched.
Yeah.
How cool
And
is
one
that?
of our senior engineers who's been around at Tithely for a long time kind of mentored him and
Yep.
coached him. So anyway, super cool story for us internally, but he put in a ton of effort on that product. So we're pumped to see Keithan present that to you guys.
Great, simple point of sale. If you've got coffee shops, we know a lot of churches are starting to go back in
Yep.
person. So coffee, books, anything like that. Event registration,
Yep.
so easy to take the chipper out, tap the card, insert the card, swipe the card, and make a payment in a couple seconds.
Yeah, super easy. I mean, we've had churches asking for a product, and we saw in the comments, right? We're kind of monitoring the YouTube comments, and this essentially is Square for churches,
Exactly.
right? It's a point of sale, super convenient, no plugins, no cords. It's Bluetooth enabled. It supports tap, so you can do contactless payments for all kinds of things:
Right.
coffee shops, bookstores, events, all the things that you have going on. So. Super excited to deliver this.
Is it fair to say that this is a very rounded product today, but we're going to continue to add some features as things go forward?
Absolutely. Most of the things you guys are going to see today, these are kind of like the beginning phases, especially on the handful of new products we're releasing. So we have roadmaps built behind all of these. So Pay's got a handful of key features that the team's already working on and plans on delivering in the next 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks.
Right.
So you're going to see a bunch of updates in these products.
$79 for the chipper. You can order it inside the app. And don't you love how in the receipt that the person gets, they can
Yes.
give. And that's what really sets this product apart from, say, a Square.
Right.
You can receipt, obviously, any purchase. And then in that email receipt, they can literally tap those buttons and make a donation.
Make a donation to the church. And I think that's central to what we're all about at Tithely. I mean, obviously, there's other point of sale devices, but there's not a lot of other, or maybe not even any.
I don't think there's any
point of sale devices built for churches, right? So when we're building products, we're thinking about how does the church use this? What makes sense? So the add-on feature of being able to make a donation from the email receipt is just one of those like nice touches that we know churches want to raise money and make it easy for people to give. And so if you're using Tithely Giving and Tithely Pay, the two are going to work together really nicely. And for all the admins out there that are dealing with the finances and managing the books and all those kind of things, Tithely Pay all reconciles into Tithely. So your bank statements are going to have all the Tithely Pay data in there, so you can do reconciliation really easily.
Love it. So that is Tithely Pay. You can
Let's
download
go.
the app, order the chipper, and get going today. So we're going to switch gears now to some financial reporting tools.
Pay was financial.
Very much finance.
But, we got more.
But this is pretty interesting because we have essentially rebuilt a ton of our back end, and because we just wanted to make it better and we wanted to keep adding some things that are really going to help the administrators. I remember when we first started building the product, we wanted to make it easy for the bookkeepers, who a lot of times they're part-time or they're volunteers. And so that back end has to be robust, simple, and helpful. And we've got some great updates, Frank, on the financial tools.
You nailed it. Let's roll it and watch these updates on Tithely reporting.
Hi there, I'm Dan Ermler, and I work on the product team here at Tithely. And today I'm going to show you some of the new things that we're working on in Tithely Giving. We know reporting is a big thing for churches as you're looking over your giving, and we've developed 2 new places for you to get better reporting. So I'm going to go ahead and show those to you. So again, and this is being released today. So first off, I'm going to go to our new Tithely dashboard where we see all of our Tithely applications, and I'm going to click on Giving, and you're going to see that we completely redesigned this space. It's easy, it's more intuitive, and let me highlight some of the new features that we built specifically for you. So first, at the top, we see a very simple search and export. Those are similar from the previous space, but let me show you some of the new tools that we have. We have filtering. Again, in the old Tithely platform, you had to look at your giving by campus. Now we've combined all of your campus or location data into one place. So here, I can literally filter by different campuses. Also, here, I can filter by funds, by payment type, and by filter date. So it's very easy to pull up different transactions. Along with this, we've actually changed and added on columns. Columns are a powerful way to view and sort data. So let me show you what I mean here. We can turn on and off different columns, and you can see these columns are showing. I can also rearrange columns so that I can better view what my data is from left to right. Now, once you have all of your sorting, your filter, your column data just like you like it, we have a new feature that's going to really change everything, and that is our views. Views are a powerful way to view and save reports exactly the way you want them. So let me show you how this works. So right now we have one view, and that's what we're calling our default view. But I could say, man, I'm looking at this, and maybe I want to change around a couple features. So maybe I want to pull column data. I want to drop this below names, and perfect. This is exactly what I want. And so I'm going to go back to views, and I'm going to go create a new view. It's going to ask me to enter a name for that view. So I'm going to call this Dan's view, and then I'm going to create a new view. And over here on the left, you probably saw something pop up. It's the Dan's view. So I can switch between my default and Dan's view. So I'm going to go ahead and click on default view, and that's going to pull up this information. But then I can also click on Dan's view, and that's going to completely rearrange the data exactly how I want to view it. Along with this, we also have export. Now, again, we're not exporting for just one campus. We're exporting for all of our campuses. So when I click on my export, I'm going to get a CSV file for that view. Again, if you've been using our old system, this is such a massive change and upgrade. You have views, you have sorting, you have filters, and you have downloadable CSVs that are exactly with the data that with the exact data that you want to see. So let me show you one of those CSV files. So right here, we can see this. And again, if I wanted data from a different file, from maybe the default one, I could download that and it would show me exactly that data. So this is transactions. Before we had giving statements. So transactions is kind of one step above that, and it shows you all of your transaction data for all of your campuses. So this is a massive new release that you're going to have be able to use today. Along with this, we've also rethought bank deposits. So let's go ahead and view our bank deposits. So let's go ahead and click on bank deposits, and we're going to see this nice simple list. When you click into a deposit, it's going to show you a basic overview as well as a summary. Let me kind of talk a little bit about this because we've really taken some time to think through it. So first off, you're going to see the when this deposit was available. You're going to see the number of transactions and the total amount deposited. So that's in the overview. And the summary, we're really trying to break down this deposit based on fund types as well as gifts in that fund. So we can see our different funds and we can see gifts as well as amounts. Now, if we wanted to, we can actually go in and click on View All Transactions, and that's going to pull up this with specific transactions. So I can actually see that data. So again, we're making a platform that's really easy to jump from one area to the other. But let's go back to bank deposits, and we're going to go ahead and click on a new bank deposit. Now you can see here, this says mark as done. One of the important things that you're going to do is be able to reconcile, say this deposit has been reconciled. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this as done. And now I can see if I click back on it that it was reconciled and what date it was reconciled on. Along with deposits, we also want to make it easy for you to download all of the transactions with that deposit. So all you have to do is click on CSV, and it's going to actually pull all the transactions from this deposit. Along with that, you may want to pull multiple deposits. So you just click on this button. You can choose a date range, or you can select it by, is it created or when it was available. So there's a few different ways you can sort through a deposit. And then you just choose a date range. So we're going to go above. Let's go from July 1st down to August 7th. And then we can go ahead and export. And again, that's going to generate a CSV of all of those deposits. And those will be available to us. So just really exciting as far as these new reporting features that are going to help you save time and keep a better pulse on your church's donations.
Wow.
Amazing.
People have been waiting.
I was like looking at the comments on YouTube, kind of watching what's going on. So those two updates, guys, are major. We know that, a lot of the Tithely users, are working in the product. They're on the kind of admin finance side of the house, and they use that transaction report view that Dan showed. That's the most used page in the Tithely product. So people are in there every day, or at least every week, reconciling the books, checking out transactions. And we, a couple of the features are major. So being able to see all your transactions for all campuses in one view. That's a major feature that people have been asking for. Being able to turn on and off which columns you want to see. So if you want to see which campus it was to, if you want to see if they've covered the fees, if you want to see what fund they gave to, like being able to turn those things on and off, and also being able to reorder them and put them kind of in the order that you want to view them. And then lastly, saving that view. So being able to have a saved view for all the different kind of views that you may have, the way you might want to look at the data for yourself versus another church, maybe for a different person on the admin team. So you can save these views with the data you want to see and the order you want to see it, then you can export it really easy to Excel. So some really major, they look kind of simple, but we know they're going to deliver massive value to a lot of our users. So really pumped about that. Deposit reporting was big. As you can see, a lot of this is in a new kind of interface. It looks new.
Yeah.
It's got
That's a sign of things to come.
Exactly. So like the deposit reporting, getting that into the new space is a big deal. And then allowing us to do some things like mark them as complete, so you can see which deposits have been reconciled versus which ones have not been reconciled, right? That's a big feature that we know you guys want. Also being able to maybe look at all deposits for a month and being able to reconcile by a full month, or even a week, right? And all deposits that happen in a week. So we know those couple of features are big ones that the team's working on right now to bring to you very soon. And all that's possible because we moved it into this new space. So
Phenomenal.
All the reporting.
Is it a good time to mention that later this week we're doing these deep dives?
Oh, that's a great point. Yes.
So the links are going to be on get.tithely/next. They're going to see links to these deep dives that are happening Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week.
Yeah, we know we can't cover all the details here. This is to kind of give you guys the big overview, but we know you're going to have real specific questions. You're going to know exactly how things work. So there's webinar, 30-minute to 60-minute webinars on each of these products that the product owners are going to go deep. So make sure to register for those. We'll email everybody right after this event so you know how to register.
Winner, chicken dinner. Here it is. First MacBook Pro.
Let's go.
Going to Cheryl Firestone, the Hub Church in Roseville, California. Happens to be California. That wasn't staged or fixed.
No.
These are picked at random, not by us. But Cheryl, you've just won a brand new MacBook Pro.
That's amazing.
How good is that?
I'm congratulating her right now.
She's on there jumping up and down. Okay, we're going to keep things moving along here.
Let's go.
We've been building custom church apps for a few years now.
Yep.
And it's one of those interesting things where the whole custom app for church world is something you kind of get the revelation once you get mobile giving down and you've got your website, which we'll talk about. But custom apps are a really powerful tool to communicate one thing and to keep people updated. But one of the features that we've been working on is around sermon series, and you preachers will know how important this is, because the series preaching vibe, which has been around for a few years,
been around for a while now,
but it's really kind of dominating, unless you're a kind of expository style preacher where you're going through a text, within a book of the Bible or a portion of the Bible. Series topical preaching is pretty much what's going on right throughout the body of Christ. So we decided, we already feel like our apps.
And I think too, like, people want to organize them by series, and they may be publishing to YouTube. They may be publishing to Vimeo or SoundCloud,
several different platforms,
or iTunes, right? They're publishing all these places, right? Because you want that exposure, and they're great tools,
right?
But those tools may not organize them into series the way you like them, or you're doing extra work on your website to organize them and display them the way you want, right? So oftentimes there's just extra work going on,
right?
That we don't think is necessary.
So we've got the most incredible manager of our app department. His name is John Holtkamp, and he's going to take you through this incredible new feature that you preachers are going to love.
Hello, I am John Holtkamp, and I am on the product team here at Tithely. And today, I want to talk to you about church apps, because we've been working on something really exciting. Over the last few years, we've been cooking it up, but really in this last year, we've been putting it together, and that is sermon series support for your sermons inside of the Tithely Church app. And you may be familiar with sermon series in the context of a church app, but what I'm excited to show you is just how radically we've changed it. So as we dive into the app right here, you can see that the sermon series are displayed as a grid. As you're probably already used to with the Tithely Church app, you have the ability to display this as a list as well as a grid, and you can use different aspect ratios with each of these items within the grid. But honestly, that's not the exciting part, but this really is the extent of probably what you're used to seeing for sermon series within a church app. But the really cool part is, one, you can do this with sermons you're posting to our platform, which is probably what you'd expect. If you post your sermons to the Tithely Church app platform, you can have them look this amazing. But on top of that, you can have it look this amazing if you're posting your sermons to any platform. As long as the platform you're posting to has an RSS feed, we've designed sermon series so you can pull your sermons in from, say, Tithely Sites, SoundCloud, WordPress, wherever you're posting your sermons to, and still have them display as series and have all of the cool functionality that I'm about to show you. Because what we really want to do is let you keep posting sermons the way you want to post them, but give you the best tool possible for your church, for people to access the media that you're posting. So to show you this, let's go ahead and dive into the Mark series. As I go into this, you can see at the top of the screen, we have the sermon title, but really the series title, but everything below that is where you get the really cool stuff and the big changes coming. And the reason we've made these big changes is, honestly, sermon series has been the same inside of the church app context since really back in 2011. But how much have things changed on mobile? Think about iTunes changing into Apple Music. Think about streaming services like Pandora and Spotify taking off. And on top of that, think about how much podcasting itself has taken off. Yet with all of these changes to the way you access these things, nothing has changed inside of the church app market. So we wanted to give you a way to access stuff, and really the way for people at your church to access stuff, so it's the best way possible and it feels modern to them. So as you go down there, we have the series title at the top, a description, The Untold Stories of Jesus Will Change How You See Him. But now you also have a download button and a video button. If I press that video button, it pulls up the ability to watch a bumper video. So you have the ability to post a bumper video for any series if you have a bumper video that you're using for that series. And next to that is a download button. And that's what has me probably the most excited about all of this. If I press that download button, it will start downloading all of the sermons inside of this series. So in a single click, I can download all of the sermons in a series. And this is something you're probably used to doing in something like, say, Apple Music or a podcasting app. However, nothing like this is available anywhere in the church app space. So we're really glad to be able to offer something modern like this, where people can access sermons so easily, since this is what they're used to doing. And honestly, as someone comes into the Mark series, if they're interested in the Mark series, they probably want to download the whole series. So this lets them do it so easily without needing to go in and out and in and out and in and out of every single sermon. And what I mean about that is, on any other platform, to be able to do this, you'd be going into a sermon, out of a sermon, in of a sermon, out of a sermon, and downloading every single sermon individually. But on top of that, other things you'd be navigating like that for: one, to go look at different series. Now, from within the Mark series, I can see the 10 newest series at the bottom of the screen, and with a single click, dive into it without the back and forth. Also, above each of the sermon titles, like parenting hacks, marriage hacks. So right above marriage hacks, look, you have a audio symbol, a video symbol, and a note symbol. This lets you be able to tell what type of media is available for that sermon without having to access that sermon. Below that, you can see for finding and following God's will, there are no notes available. So if I want to access a sermon with notes without needing to go back and forth, I can see which sermons have notes. And this is even more important for things like video. If you want to watch a video, it's really nice to be able to see which sermons have video available without having to navigate a lot. Also, you can see on the right-hand side, there's a play button. And, let's go back to the Mark series for this. On the right-hand side, there's a play button. We wanted to make it very easy to dive right into listening to a sermon, because we feel that if you're going to watch a sermon and you want to take notes, you probably can take your time getting to it. And by take your time, I just mean a few extra clicks. But if you want to listen to a sermon, oftentimes you're about to go for a run and you're pulling your phone out, or you're getting in the car and you're pulling your phone out. We want to make it as easy as possible for you to dive right into the audio. And if you look at the top two sermons, right below the titles, for instance, the 12620, right below the title of Welcome to the Kingdom of God, you can see there's a check mark. This indicates that sermon has been that sermon has been listened to. But if we go down to where do you start the Jesus story, there's no check mark, and that's because that sermon has not been listened to. So let's go ahead and dive into that sermon and start listening. So I can go ahead and fast forward into the sermon and minimize it. And as you're used to seeing in the Tithely Church app, at the bottom of the screen, you have a mini player making it easy to access that sermon that's playing from anywhere in the app. But now you also have an animation showing you which sermon's playing, and you can see below where you start the Jesus story. You can also see how much time is left to listen to this sermon. And this will track every single sermon you've listened to, which is why there's check marks above on the two first sermons in this series, so that you can tell, hey, those have actually been listened to. If you're paying attention, that also just changed from 24 to 23 minutes. That time is actually staying up to date with the sermon. If I go ahead and shut that and go back and look at my series list, you can also see that I can now see what the last sermon I was listening to was and access it right here. And this is really important, because if I had to stop listening and kill the app, say I was listening to the car and had to stop because I arrived at my destination, as I open the app again and go into the messages section of this app, I have it right there ready to easily dive into that sermon and make it so easy to access, which is just another thing that we see that really belongs in a church app, but just isn't available. So we are so excited about what's going on in the church app space at Tithely, and so excited about what's going on in all of the products across Tithely. We can't wait for you to see more. Have a great day.
Come on, how good is John Holcamp?
Love John. I was thinking the same thing. Like, John,
he's like,
is it?
There's no one more passionate about church and apps on the planet than John. Yep. And John's in Ohio. We got a little great crew up in Ohio, around the Dayton area. He's in Cincinnati. So yeah, bringing the heat on apps.
Amazing. So I think a few things on that, right? So making our apps just amazing, right? Like consuming media. Whether you're using like Spotify or iTunes or any other any other product on your phone, like you want your church app media to do that well, but you don't want to be restricted by having to put your content into one specific system. That's why we support YouTube and Vimeo and SoundCloud and iTunes and Tithely Sites and all the things, right? So and one of the threads that you'll also see in all of this is we do church websites. We call it Tithely Sites, and we've got a few thousand churches using the website platform, and we've got a lot, thousands using the app platform. Well, if you're using both, the content from your website going into your app really easily, and in some ways it'll start to happen kind of automatically. So making these products work more and more together, easier and easier all the time, is something that we're really passionate about. So
if you're seeing a theme here, it is that all of these technologies are merging into this kind of one beautiful piece of technology where they're all talking to each other.
Yep.
We start cutting down on having to update this, update that. And that's what we're working towards.
And if you're using, a Wix or a Weebly or a Squarespace, right?
We can
great
plug into that,
platforms,
no
and
problem.
we plug into those as well.
Yeah.
But we don't control those platforms, whereas we kind of control Tithely Sites, so we can make Tithely Sites have all the church features that it needs built in, and then make it work perfectly with your church app, right? And that's a beautiful picture, and you're probably going to pay a lot less for the combined solution than you might be paying for two other solutions, right? So
is that a good segue, Frank, into what we're doing?
Jump
next?
into Tithely Sites.
Boom.
We've got some Tithely Sites updates, but just for those watching live, if you're on the Tithely website right now on the /NXT page and you happen to have any trouble with commenting or interacting, just click on the title of the video and hop over onto YouTube, and you'll be able to watch the live feed right on YouTube and comment there.
Nothing like live, baby.
We're all live, and we're watching all the comments, and it's amazing. So with that said, let's jump to the next update. Tithely Sites, take it away.
Hey everyone, Matt here from the Tithely product team. Well, it was just about a year ago that I joined the team here at Tithely, and one of the first projects in front of me was to actually get Tithely Sites off the ground. And so it could not have been a better year so far. As we launched Tithely Sites in January, we've had over 1,000 of you actually join onto the platform. It's been super exciting. We've actually even launched the live stream player, which so many of you are using as you stream your service in this time of COVID. And so we actually have another couple of great features to show you today. So I'm excited to do that. So first off, here we're just kind of looking at a standard site, but why don't we add one more thing to it? In the bottom left corner there, you will notice a new tool has popped up called Plan Your Visit. At the same time that we joined the team here at Tithely, the team at Church Hero also came on board, and they had a really great tool called Plan Your Visit that they had built into their platform. And so we actually have now built that directly into Tithely Sites, where visitors can come to your website, have a really clear call to action to say, hey, I want to come visit this coming Sunday. And so let's take a quick look at what that's going to look like. So here we got one button to click Plan Your Visit. We say how many people will be attending, so they can pick that. And we'll just say this is going to be Joe Smith, and this will just be joe@gmail.com. What's the number? 555 sounds pretty good. There we go. And then here he gets to choose his location. So it's going to be Main Street or the downtown. Let's choose Main Street. Here's the upcoming dates where there's a service happening at that location. We'll click that. And here we got our 10 a.m. service that the person can click for. And there we go. Joe has planned his visit. And so at this time, Joe receives an email, says, hey, here's your contact details, or here's your details of your visit. The church gets an email saying, hey, you can expect Joe this coming Sunday. And then what we can even do from there is actually show the church under this new Plan Your Visit area that you can find under your admin menu. You can actually see all the different services you've got upcoming with the number of visits planned. And so we can see here that 23 people are planning to attend the August 16th service. So some pretty exciting functionality to now have in the system. And one other piece of that I want to show you is under your site content area. We've actually added this new section called reviews. And so I'm just going to put in here a little thing saying my life was changed. We'll add some just totally sample text here. And I want you to see what happens when I do this. So I'm going to create a review that someone can add. So this is a testimonial. Someone's had a life-changing experience at your church, but you'll see what just happened in the bottom left corner there is it actually transformed the Plan Your Visit button into this testimonial that can pop up. And so as you add more of these, they'll actually show up at a random order, and then someone can look to it, click it, and when they do, this is going to pop up here and actually bring up this nice little review they can read about how their life was changed, and then they can click to plan a visit from there. So kind of a new way to kind of showcase testimonies at your church, which is super exciting. So that is the first update for you today. The second one is a new area under site settings you will see called integrations, and we have our first integration of Tithely CHMS Alvanto. And so you can actually grab your API key from CHMS, you paste it in here, and what that's going to make possible, well, here I just want to show you an Alvanto account with some events loaded in. But what that's going to make possible here is that when I jump over to my events section and I click to add an event, because this site is linked up with Alvanto, there's some new buttons that are here. The first is this top right corner, add event from CHMS. And what this does is actually shows me, so I'm going to it's going to pull CHMS and pull any events coming over. Display that for us in a moment here. And here's the events coming up, and we got launch party, worship night. Let's add this worship night event to our website. And so what it does is it pulls the title in right away. If there was a location to that one, there would here. So we can add one saying, my church, join us summer. We can associate it. So all kind of the normal things you can do with an event, but then all this extra information just got pulled through. If there was more body description in there, that would have as well. But that's the idea, is that everything that CHMS can give us actually comes through. So we click create event, and we just built an entire event on the website based purely off of content direct from CHMS. So that was the first part of it. The second part is that when you are coming in here, and we'll click to add a new event, we can actually say, here's our new event. And now we have this option to say, sync this event with Tithely CHMS Alvanto. And so what this does, we'll actually add this new event over to CHMS. So we can pick from our calendars, we can choose from our organizers. This is pulling all CHMS data. And so we'll pick that. We can kind of come through here and say, my location. Again, we can associate it. And so what that does, we could create event, and that creates the event over on CHMS. Where this gets really exciting for those of you who use the Tithely Custom Church app is you know that we already have content syncing over to the app. So now by adding one event in Tithely Sites, you can add events both to apps and CHMS simultaneously. So one place to do it all, saves you some time and effort there. So we're really excited to have that functionality there, and we hope you love it too.
Tithely Sites.
Let's go.
Come on, man.
Like, what I love about the Tithely Sites update is how the team was very thoughtful.
Matt Morrison, by the way, phenomenal
Matt
job.
presenting. We got Thomas, who is kind of the lead engineer, who does a bunch of the magic. But I love, and they didn't mention our church online section that also got released a couple, maybe 3 months ago.
Yeah, kind of at the beginning of the shutdown.
At the beginning
we built that very quickly.
Yeah. So COVID-19 hits, churches are shutting down. Now there's some reopening happening, but there's limited attendance and social distancing. So, the church online page within church websites that also integrates with the church app really seamlessly. The plan your visit tool.
So the streaming, I'm on YouTube Live, it goes to website, goes to app.
Goes right into my website, goes right in. So if I'm using YouTube Live or Vimeo Live or a bunch of other, and I'm putting that into my Tithely site church online screen, that will go into your Tithely app automatically. So all that works great.
Genius.
That didn't go over church online because we kind of announced that a while back. But then plan your visit, but with the kind of COVID-19 caveat to where I want people to plan, but it used to be you want to plan your visit for visitors.
Right.
Now your churches are having their members plan their visits because
of limited spacing, social distancing.
They can only have 200 people in the sanctuary.
So you can set on the plan your visit.
Yep.
Are you telling me you can set the amount of people
you
that can come?
see the number of people and limit it by service, right? So just all these little updates to kind of operate in the moment, which is what I love about what the team did here. And then the integration of you're using Tithely Church Management and you create an event in Tithely Church Management, that event shows up on your website and shows up in your church app without you.
That's the holy grail right there.
That's where we're headed, right? Continuing to make all these things become one and have all this stuff little by little kind of permeate all the products. So really, really dig it. And churches are all being forced online. Like every church, because of COVID, had to have a great website, had to figure out live streaming, needed online giving, might be looking into an app, needs some other things that we're going to talk about at the very end. And
stay tuned.
And we're trying to kind of enable churches with all the online tech they need at price points that are just
unbeatable. So, the thing I love about our website product, it is for church, like everything we build.
Testimonials.
How good was that? You could put the testimonials in the website.
Snuck it in.
He snuck that in. I didn't even know that was coming, actually.
And that's the thing. So in the kind of anybody that's kind of in the marketing communications world that might be doing it as a profession, like professionally, but you're also doing it for your church. The idea of social proof is a big deal, and being able to show people on your website that you've got great reviews or you've got 4.5 out of 5 stars,
like we do.
People like we, right? But churches do it too, and they do it in the form of testimonials, right? Lives being changed, and you want to share those stories. Well, this little widget makes it possible to like automatically be sharing these stories on your website.
Why would you be on Clover or Wix or any Squarespace? Why would you be on any of that
when you can
be all integrated into our stuff? Okay, moving on.
Next thing.
I think the accountant administrators are about to get real happy.
I'm not going to show you my paper, but let's jump into the next update. This is a big one. The admin teams are going to be pumped.
Yep.
We're pretty excited. We know you've been asking for this for a long time, so take it away.
Hi there, my name is Dan Ermler, and I work on the product team here at Tithely. And I am thrilled to get to tell you about our new QuickBooks Online integration. What this is going to do is automatically create deposit records inside of QuickBooks. This allows you to quickly reconcile your bank statements without having to do any manual data entry. This is a huge time saver when it comes to your bookkeeping. So I'm going to take a minute and just show you how this works. And it's important to keep in mind, this is a set it and forget it type of tool. Just connect it once and it's going to do all of the work in the background. So as you can see here, we're in our new app integration space. Again, this is in beta, so we're just releasing it. You can have access to it today, but let's just jump into it. So when you're going through this for the first time, it is going to ask you to set up some initial accounts and to connect your QuickBooks Online. That's already been done here, so we're just going to jump in and hit the configure button. Here, you'll be brought into our QuickBooks Online integration space. You can see different deposits here, and you can actually track what's been happening. So if there's ever a discrepancy or you want to know what happened, you can always jump in here and you can search through different deposits. We're going to go ahead and click on one of these deposit reports, and it's actually going to walk us through and tell you exactly what was put through, what amount, what was the gross amount, including the bank fees. So there we have that general information. So again, it's easy to look through. You can search by location. So if you have multiple campuses, you can put the campus name and it'll come up. Or what you can do is actually put through different amounts, and you can search through those and it will pull up. So along with your main dashboard where you can search through deposits, we also have some general settings. And I want to highlight some of the settings for you because these are huge time savers for you and your bookkeeper there at the church. So first off, we have our main QuickBooks connection. Again, you're going to be needing to use QuickBooks Online. As of right now, this does not integrate with the desktop version of QuickBooks, only QuickBooks Online. Below that, you have some general notification settings. Again, we're going to send out an email every time we post a new deposit. So you're going to get an email that notifies you of what's happening. It's really not necessary for you to come back and be in this space. We want to do through email everything that you would need to know to stay up to date about your different deposit reports. Underneath this, we have a location setting. So one of the really neat things about this new QuickBooks integration is you can have multiple campuses set up with this. Now, this church has only one campus, and there's a couple key features I want to highlight for you. First of all, map fund names. What this is going to do, it's going to take your funds inside of Tithely and it's going to map it to the charter of accounts. Again, this is going to save your bookkeeper a lot of time. So let's jump in there and see how it looks. So on the left here, we have our different Tithely accounts, and on the right, we have our different QuickBooks charter of accounts. And again, you can just go through those and connect them. There's a quick feature over here that says maybe non-active or show all the accounts that are unactive. So again, if we're not using those funds in Tithely and we haven't mapped those, you can quickly turn them on or off. So there we go. Let's go with this. So we'll go back a page, and Now, some other things that you want to keep in mind is just some general settings is you can choose what QuickBooks account, what default QuickBooks line account, so that everything goes into. So we've included just a lot of great settings. So it's really feature rich. Again, it'll take you a couple minutes to set up. And after that, you'll be good to go. You'll get regular emails, regular updates. And again, we're hoping that this is something that can save you, your church, and your bookkeeper a ton of time. So today, go sign up for our new QuickBooks integration if you're using QuickBooks Online, and we'd love to hear what you think.
Dan Ermler,
Let's go QuickBooks.
Fresno, California. So obviously we can't make everybody happy all the time, even though we want to.
100%.
This is for QuickBooks Online in the cloud, which I think there could be a pretty good argument for why you were installed on a PC anyway.
Right.
But this is a beautiful integration that's going to save our admins a lot of time.
And on the QuickBooks desktop thing, we know we have QuickBooks desktop users or QuickBooks offline users. And so what the team's kind of working on and thinking about is how to create the QuickBooks desktop export file, right? So basically, you can't really integrate directly cleanly with a desktop version because everybody's settings could be different. There could just be different things. So, but a nice export file that's kind of formatted for QuickBooks is going to help that process a lot. But you know, we've talked to a lot of our churches, and we have a lot of churches that use QuickBooks Online, and more keep moving.
Thousands.
So this is like one time you set it up, it works, it makes the accounting super easy. And we're also considering some other accounting integrations like Xero, which we saw in the comments, because you know, we just want to make getting all this financial data into your accounting platform super easy.
Super easy. Love it.
So good stuff, QuickBooks.
So we've got another little help for
Big
the
one.
finance team before we get to the last part of the presentation today. But yeah, man, this has been very requested as well.
Yeah, this one. So, but also just as another quick comment in case you're joining us, you know, a little bit late, we are going to have deep dive webinars scheduled for all of these things. So you can come in, you can ask questions, you can go way deeper in terms of all the details and things like that. So look out for an email that'll come probably after this event. It'll tell you how to register for those webinars to go
And they'll
deep.
be recorded.
Everything will be recorded.
And they'll be on the next page.
Yeah, absolutely. So without further ado, the next update is also another big one on the finance side for the finance teams managing the money of the church. So with that said, I think Dan Ermler is back up again.
Go Dan.
Hey there, I'm Dan Ermler, and I work on the product team here at Tithely, and I am so excited to share this new feature, something many of you have been asking for a long time, and that is check scanning. When you have a large number of checks and you need to deposit them, check scanning makes it really easy to do that. So as of today, we're officially launching our new check scanning application. And I'm going to give you a quick preview of how that works. You're going to find it so easy to scan in dozens or hundreds of checks. So let's just jump in and show you. So first off, we're here in our new Tithely Giving account, and you can see the new transactions, batch deposits, but here we can also see check scanning. Let's go ahead and click on that. Over to the right, you're going to see a bunch of batches of checks. Again, when you scan in a number of checks, they're going to show up as a batch. Now, what we want to do is scan in some new checks. So just click on Portal, and a new web page will open. And this is actually where our check scanning portal will be. Go to Transactions. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually create a new deposit. So we're going to click on the Remote Deposit Complete. And then we're going to go and create a new deposit. It's here that my check scanner will actually connect with my check scanning software, and I can go ahead and put in some info about that. It's going to give you a deposit name, but we could change that. I'm going to change it to Dan's deposit. And I only have one check to deposit, and that's for $100. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Create. And now what it's going to do is you're going to see that the green light on my device is now ready to roll. And so I'm going to take a check, and I'm actually going to drop it in here. And it's going to go ahead and scan that check. As you can see here, that check has been scanned. I can now complete the deposit. From here, I can see that I can see my different deposits that have gone in. So I can see Dan, and that's one of one checks. Give it just a little bit of time, and it'll actually update the deposit amount. Now, in just a couple minutes, you're going to be able to go back to your main Tithely Giving dashboard and see the different batch. So let me real quick just go back to the dashboard. And so again, within 3 to 5 minutes, you should see your batch show up here. When your batch is shown, you're going to see that there's different checks that you can then allocate to different funds and donors. If you are a church that has to process a lot of checks, this is going to save you an amazing amount of time. As far as processing checks, it's just a 29-cent fee per check. So it's affordable and it's fast. And we hope you love our new check scanning application.
Scanning.
Check scanners.
Now, scanning is a bit like, what are you guys doing? You're digital. You're trying to get us to go mobile and all that stuff. And we are.
100%.
But the fact of the matter is, especially here in the U.S., we still get a lot of checks in church.
It's probably heavily U.S. based.
It's only
my church, and it's interesting too with COVID. My home church had about 200 or so checks per week on average, and in the COVID season, it's down to about 20 checks per week. So checks are still coming in. It's decreased significantly. It's probably true for most churches.
Right.
But there's going to be a day when we're all back and we can all give our friends a hug.
Some people love writing their checks.
And checks will probably maybe not go all the way back, right, to pre-COVID levels, but they'll still come back. And, even the 20 checks a week, we want the finance team to be able to get those entered into Tithely, get them deposited to your bank account. That way, again, all that data is in one system, so you can easily scan checks, you can enter cash, all your digital giving's happening there, all of your mobile swipe or Tithely Pay transactions are happening in there.
One spot.
We've got Tithely events, so your events can be happening in there, right? So you've got one spot, all your financial data is coming in there, and then for the QuickBooks Online users, that can easily be pushed into QuickBooks Online, right? So we're reducing administrative time, hopefully some, kind of human error, right? When you're doing a bunch of manual things, it just makes it harder on people. So trying to make that really clean.
And it was cool. Like when I looked at the demo, you could see the check coming in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just really great technology.
And we support
a bunch of scanners.
The check scanners will be listed on the website. You guys will get that info. You'll get the info on pricing, all that kind of stuff. But here's what I want to know. If you're a church who is doing check scanning, we're just launching this product, and we figured on the fly we would just do another giveaway. So
are you calling an audible?
We're going to do an audible giveaway. If you want to use Tithely check scanning, just comment right now. Say, hey, we're definitely in on Tithely check scanning. I'm at this church. We're going to pick a winner. We'll pick it by the end. We'll do it live. Paul, who's sitting over here, is going to have the team pick the winner. So put your name, what church you're with, and say, yeah, raise your hand. I want to use Tithely check scanning. We're going to pick a winner and give away. We'll just buy one of the check scanners and ship to these guys.
29 cents a check, getting it all in one place of record. So much easier than going to the bank and all that kind of jazz. So it's going to be fantastic.
Going to be amazing.
Okay. We're coming to the end.
Take a breath.
And we've got one more thing, to coin a phrase. Now, this is a product that we initially built last year. And we were going to come out with it, and then we started to rethink it about a little.
Yep.
And we wanted to build something that was a few things. Number one, we wanted it to be best in class. So as the year went on and we were building, we just kept thinking, let's add this feature. And in the software world, at some point, you've got to say, stop.
Right.
Let's go and get out with this stuff.
You're going to always be building.
But the good news is we crammed a lot of really cool things into this first release of a brand new product. You're going to see a video right now giving you an overview. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Tithely Messaging.
Getting someone's attention isn't easy. Your church and community are swimming in a sea of information. Whether you're trying to reach someone at home or work, on a phone, tablet, or laptop, throughout the week, or sitting in your worship service, the best way to do this is with a text or email. Say hello to Tithely Messaging. Tithely Messaging is a church texting and email tool. With Tithely Messaging, you can connect with people in the way they prefer. Think about it. Text messages have a whopping 98% open rate. And according to several different studies, most people would rather receive an email than a phone call. Need to make a quick announcement? Send a text. Want to connect with first-time guests? Make it convenient for them with a text or email. Does your church community need pastoral care? Tithely Messaging makes it easy for people to share prayer requests, join a small group, or ask for help. From your first interaction to building lasting relationships, Tithely Messaging will help you reach more people, connect with first-time guests, and engage your church like never before.
Hey everybody, such a pleasure to be joining you today. My name is Matt Morrison. I'm on the product team at Tithely, and it is my pleasure to introduce to you Messaging. This is a product that our team's been hard at work for a number of months now, and the day is finally here where we're ready to launch it and activate it for all of you to sign up for. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So where we're going to start this is actually with our brand new dashboard. And this is a place where all of your Tithely product suite comes together, and you can actually kind of access your entire, whichever product you're looking to get to. So we're going to jump into messaging here. And where it brings us to is our brand new messaging inbox. This is a place where we get to consolidate all of your conversations. Right now, you might have conversations in your youth pastors' text messages and your worship pastors sending out emails, but this actually brings your entire church team's conversations together so that you have visibility on making sure people are getting followed up and really cared for. So we got a message here from Fred Cook asking us how we're doing, and we can reply to Fred, we are doing great. We have the option here as we're sending that message, we can either send it by SMS or email. So both of those are possible through here. Let's send that one as an SMS and send it through. As it's sending, we actually see in this top right corner, we can get more details. So if we want to know a little bit more on Fred, we can see here, we've got some more information stored there. So it's actually going to become a great database of information for you. What we can now jump to is our contact list. And so this is actually going to be the place where you store all the phone, email addresses, address, everything of the people in your church. So again, that information can be in your email address book, in your youth pastor's phone. And so we actually wanted to give you that centralized place of all that contact information in one spot. And so from here, I can kind of look through my list. Maybe we're going to follow up with Fred again. I can search for him, pull him up in the list. There we go. And actually jump right to and send him another message if we wanted to. From there, what we might want to do is actually take all those contacts and kind of form them into different lists. And so we're actually going to jump into our guest services team here, and we're going to view the contacts who are in there. Oh, we don't actually have any, so let's add some. We're going to add our contacts. We're going to say Rod's on that team, Evan, Samantha will be there. Let's see who else we got. Crystal and Rod can join the team as well. So we're going to add those 5 contacts. It's going to add them in. That's great. We're there. And so what we can do is actually jump over to this feature that we are very excited about called follow-ups. And this is the opportunity for you to create automated follow-up sequences when people connect with next steps in your church. So whether it's a first-time guest or someone who's looking to join a small group or looking to be baptized, there's all these different people that you want to follow up with. You want to make sure they're cared for, but sometimes those tasks can get lost. You can have a busy week, and so you're not able to. But what we wanted to let you do is actually, when someone joins that first-time visitor list, we're going to send them a sequence. And so here we actually have a message after 30 minutes that goes out and says, hey, great to see you today. We can send them another message a day later, a week later. Maybe we want to get them connected into small groups. And so there's all these really great things, but the key here is we're not trying to automate and make your church like a robot. We want to engage with people. And so what happens that's really great here is when you ask questions, when you connect with them and they reply back, those replies will come right back to your inbox. And so you can actually spark up a conversation with them and really make sure you're connecting back. So that is pretty exciting. That's the overview of what we're launching messaging with. But what I wanted to give you a little sneak peek into, there's actually some other great features right around the corner that are going to be launching in the days and weeks to come. And so one of those is a tool we're calling keywords. And this is the ability for someone to message in a keyword to your church, whether it's, again, guest or worship or small group. And we can actually automatically add that person who texts that in to a list, which then, you guessed it, can automatically begin to send them a follow-up sequence. So some really powerful stuff coming from there. And then shortly after that, we're going to have blasts coming out where you can actually take these lists and send out mass messages to by SMS or email depending on whether it's kind of a more real-time update you're looking to do or just a notification you're wanting to send out. But some really, really exciting stuff on the way for messaging, and we're excited to put this in your hands today. So just a couple quick kind of housekeeping updates to let you know. Today, messaging is launching in the US and Canada, and very soon we are going to be releasing it to more and more countries in kind of the weeks to come here. As far as pricing is concerned, all of this is available for just $5 a month, and with that you actually get 200 SMS messages included in that. And email is actually completely free. There's no cost for any of the emails you send. But it even gets better for all access customers out there, because you actually get that $5 fee waived. You get your 200 included messages each month. And then beyond that, it's just 2.9 cents per additional message, which is incredibly competitive in the space out there. And so we're just so excited to be able to offer you all this. So thanks so much for tuning in, and hope you love this as much as we do.
Come on now.
We're live. I can't stop. I can't stop looking at the YouTube comments.
Engrossed in the comments. Tithely Messaging is probably the biggest thing we built, in the respect that we feel like this is going to be the kind of tool that is really going to help churches.
Yeah.
In a bunch of ways. Communication is the name of the game with a lot of what we do here, and this product is loaded.
Well, it's loaded, and I think, you know, Tithely's origin is in giving and increasing giving. And we obviously today, QuickBooks, check scanning, Tithely Pay,
lots of giving
more
stuff.
Reporting, right?
And more coming.
And more stuff coming, you know, some big updates. But, you know, we've obviously added church apps and church websites, and now a full communications platform. And I think Dan mentioned it, right? Communication is text and email, but that can also be sending your push notifications. It could be sending a print mailer, right? All your communications can be baked into this one thing. So you've got your communications, your apps, your websites, and whatever else, right? So you can get your financial stuff, right? If you're on kind of the financial side of the church house, or if you're on the marketing and communication side of the house, and have all these things kind of in one place and then working together. And then the database side, right? As we keep plugging more and more into church management into these products, it just gets better and better and better, and it gets more valuable in the sense of like all of our users and what they can do with the tools. It just gets more valuable.
I think the communications guys are gonna just do backflips over this. One of the things that really sets this product apart, and there's other products out there that do simple text messaging. You can even, you know, if you've got some engineering left, you can go and hook into Twilio, which we sit on top of, by the way. Twilio are doing the heavy lifting on the issuing of the numbers, the 800 numbers, and getting the text to work. But one of the things that really sets this apart is the integration of the data that we're collecting in the giving side to be able to do these kind of follow-up campaigns. So just imagine this. When you're a pastor, one of the key things you're always looking out to keep a focus on is new people, new givers. So we've built this product to do things like, imagine if someone gives for the first time and you could set up a campaign to automatically send them a thank you. You could even record a little YouTube video, embed it in the thank you follow-up text and set it. And so when someone gives for the first time on the giving side, they get an automatic
personal
thank you.
Message from the pastor,
message,
right
from the
Click
pastor.
it, go to YouTube, watch the video.
Imagine if someone gives 4 weeks in a row. That's kind of a cool thing.
Right. Or checks their kids in.
Imagine if someone checks their kids in and they get, so all of this integration, you can see where we're going, we'll say it again, all of this stuff talking together, and the power of having all of that stuff in one spot allows us to do a really lot of cool things behind the scenes to make all of this stuff exponentially better.
And it's a great point. Most other messaging platforms, you guys are all probably used to this. You have to kind of pull your data out of system A and go put it into system B, right? If you're using a MailChimp or some other texting platform, you've got to go put your data in over there. Sometimes there's integrations, but you got to put it in and then you kind of use it there, and then your data gets old and you got to go do another, right? So you're kind of moving data or worrying about an integration all the time, right? But since people are using Tithely for the full church management side of things, we've got all this giving data. We can build messaging on top of that and have all these smart triggers built in. And something that's coming, it didn't show up today, but we're going to build in pre-built automated kind of drip campaigns so that you don't have to invent them. You can go, oh, I want to do the new member drip campaign.
Text the word new. So I'm a new person sitting in church, and I text the word new. I get back this beautiful
And
welcome campaign.
And it's pre-written for
Pre-done.
you, pre-done, and then you can go edit it. Make your kind of,
Right.
it's 90% of what you want. You're going to edit 10% of it to make it your voice, your brand, but it's already all there, right? So the team's already working on stuff like that.
Yeah, you can see, on the integration side of things, it's just going to keep getting better and better and more integrated into the people databases that we have within our CHMS, within Tithely Giving itself,
Right.
all of it talking together and really being about it. So pricing, we talked a lot about this internally for many months now, and of course, as per our mission is to provide the best software at a price point every single church can afford, from church plant right through to many mega churches using our platform. And so we came up with this pricing plan that I think you're going to like. It's $5 a month, right? So we're going to ask when you, on the back end, you're going to light up messaging. We're going to collect a credit card from you.
If you're not using another Tithely
We have you card on
monthly
file potentially.
subscription product. No, I mean the $5 a month is if you're using nothing else.
If you're
at
brand new.
Tithely. If you're brand new,
Just using free
and
giving.
you're just using giving,
Right.
That's where the $5 a month applies.
So we're going to ask for your credit card, and then we're going to give you 200 messages, which breaks down the cost of those messages compared to any of our competitors extremely inexpensive. So that's the first thing. It's $5 a month to start messaging. Email is free.
Right.
Like, so you're probably paying between what, 10 and 20 bucks a month for MailChimp?
MailChimp, Constant Contact.
Constant
yeah.
contacts. So we bake in email, you get that for free. So you can drop that 20, 30 bucks a month that you're paying for email. You get these 200 messages, and then after that, 2.9 cents a message. And go and check it out. I don't know if we're going to have price comparisons up on the pricing page, but there's no question that there's no one close. And then when you bake in the features and you bake in the integration and all the cool things that are happening behind the scene, you're going to love this product. It's really, really going to be helpful, especially in this time where you've got a little disconnectedness going on in person.
Churches are doing more email and text today than they ever have been.
So this is, we would have liked to have done this a couple, 3 months ago, but we really wanted to get it right, and we wanted to bake in these features. And I would just say in the next probably 30 days, the features around messaging are just going to keep coming. We're very committed to that.
Yeah, for all this stuff.
So Tithely Messages, it's in the back end. You can light it up.
And people are trying to get to stuff, so the team has not activated a lot of this stuff just yet. But within the hour, all these things are going to be turned on in the back end. So you'll log in, refresh the screen, you'll start seeing this stuff. Tithely Pay is in the App Store. The support team is around, and we're doing these deep dives. So again, if you haven't heard,
very key
deep dive webinars on all of these products. But with that said, let's announce the next
couple more winners.
Let's do the check scanner winner first.
Yeah, that was the audible
check scanner winner coming right now. Tanya Magris,
Abundant Life Church.
Abundant Life Church. Tanya, we're pumped. We're going to send you a check scanner.
It's coming your way.
We'll connect with you. Let's make sure we tag Tanya in the comments here. We know what church she's with.
We'll track you down.
And we'll track you down somehow, some way, and then we'll let you kind of pick a check scanner off the list.
Love it. And one more MacBook Pro.
One more MacBook Pro. We've got St. Peter Lutheran Church, Larry Knobloch.
Love it.
You've just won a brand new MacBook Pro and 1 year of Tithely All Access for free, which includes all these things.
We're giving away a whole year?
That was part of the.
Come on.
That was part of the deal. So,
love it.
So man, we're pumped to
cool.
to bless you guys. I saw the last winner, and I forget her name, Cheryl. Cheryl commented like she felt so pumped because the church needed a new computer.
Perfect.
And it was awesome.
So what a fantastic day. I hope we've lived up to the hype. Man, just last final comments before we sign off. Let everyone get back to whatever they're doing today.
I mean, so you will get an email from us letting you know how to register for these deep dive webinars. Be sure to do that. We will have the recording posted on the Tithely website. We will also have the recordings of all the different sessions broken out so you can kind of watch them individually.
Wow.
But we'll get all this information out in the next day.
Phenomenal. Been a great time. Thank you for joining. We really appreciate you,
100%.
Spending time with us, but also allowing us to serve you. We have one mission here at Tithely. We want to be the greatest, largest, biggest, most cost-effective church technology platform in the world. We're charging towards that very, very quickly. We are a company that's committed to continually releasing, building, updates, feature sets. We're never going to stop because we love serving the church.
Yeah.
So really want to thank you for coming today. It's been a fantastic day. A few glitches, a few live
It's
craziness.
live. But I also want to say, if you wouldn't mind, if you're still on with us live, pop a comment if you've ever worked with anybody at Tithely, right? If you've interacted with your customer success manager, somebody in support, talk to somebody in sales. I mean, all these people really love serving churches. So I'm sure they'd love to kind of connect with you guys. So pop a comment who you've worked with at Tithely. And also be sure to subscribe to the Tithely YouTube channel. So hit the subscribe button and then click the bell. There's a bell. You got to click it. That's what people tell me. So click the bell.
That's true.
So that when we keep doing these updates, you guys will get notified about these things.
Love it.
Um,
Awesome.
yeah.
Love you guys. Appreciate you spending time today, and we'll see you at the next. Look out for that later
Yes.
in the fourth quarter. So bless you guys.
See you guys.
See you soon.